So here's an example of using time value of money. So for example, let's say we had a problem where we were told 2016 sales are 20,000. Sales are expected to grow at 5% a year. Cost of goods sold is 10,000 in 2016, but it's gonna grow at 4% a year. Gross margin, as we know, is sales minus cost of goods sold. So the question is forecasting sales, forecasting cost of goods sold, forecasting gross margin for each year, and also calculating what is the average compound growth rate for the gross margin over, between 2016 and 2020. We know that the average gross margin was given to us for sales growth is 5%, and for cost of goods sold is 4%. So here are the answers. Sales, we start at 20,000. 10,000 gross margin is sales minus cost. Here we have the forecasting and so on. So how would we do that? So I would ask you to take a pause, try to do it yourself, and then come back and look at the analysis. So assuming you have done the analysis, or at least attempted to do it, here's how we would do it. So obviously we would take it up and you would set up the the formula. So let's say if I was going to do it again, I'm just going to put it down over here for you. We know that these numbers were given to us, so you would basically type it in there at 4% and 5%, then came from the problem. This we have to calculate, so I'm just going to put a little yellow box here for right now. They gave us this number, 20,000 and 10,000. So if I want to, so I'll create just like I had done before. I will put in the years on the top, and obviously 2016 is the base year we're starting from. And then this information was given to us, these two sales for 2016 and gross margin. So I mean the cost of goods sold, and gross margin is going to be sales minus cost of goods sold. So it would be, sales minus cost of goods sold. So that's what they have given us. Now we're gonna do is to first forecast the sales, then the cost of goods sold, and then the gross margin, and then figure out this compound average growth rate. To figure out the future growth rate, we will go to the formula on tab under financial formulas, and because you're looking for the future value, we're gonna find the formula that's future value, which is this one. The box opens up. Rate is going to be this thing over here, and I am going to use the F4 key and put a dollar sign on the left side. If you hit the dollar sign a couple of times, the dollar signs between the left and the right on both sides will change. And I think, as many of you know, what I want to do is to do it that way, so when I copy, I can copy it much easier. So if I want to copy the from left to right, I would put the dollar sign on the left side, and number of periods is, because we're going to do 1 year at a time, that will be 1. I am not adding any PMT, which means I'm not adding any extra input every year, so that will be left 0. Present value, as you probably know, when it comes to Excel, present value should be start with a negative number. So I'm going to put a negative sign there and go to the cell where I'm starting for, which is this cell C15, and then I will say OK. So now I've calculated 21,000 number. So now I can take this and I can copy here all the way across, and by doing the F4 key that I did, it obviously I was able to copy all the way through. Or you can also do the with the mouse you can drag it. Now I can copy this thing over here, so I got that done. I can copy this over here, and so now we have forecasted the sales, the cost of goods sold, and the gross margin for all the years. To calculate the average compound growth rate, we will go to the formula to calculate the rate. So I will go find the formula that has rate on it, RATE, which is this. Box will open up. Now, number of periods we're gonna do is to say that, you know, we are going to go from 2020 and 2016. So basically it'll calculate that there are 4 years, you know, compounding, and it's doing it for us over here. Again, no PMT. Present value, we will put a minus sign as a, you know, time value of money. That's how it works. So we're gonna put a minus sign. So I'm gonna put minus this cell C22, which is the gross margin for 2016, and the future value is going to be 2020 future value, and I'm gonna hit a return, and I get 6%. Percents typically you want to see in at least a couple of decimal places. So I'm going to go in and add some zeros to it. And so the answer is 5.972.